had been complaining about sexual harassment and retaliation.
The Five has been a staple of Fox News programming since its debut in 2011. Known for its rotating panel of hosts representing a range of political perspectives, the show brings lively debate and discussion on politics and culture. Over the years, The Five has seen many hosts come and go, some leaving voluntarily and others under more controversial circumstances. Today, we're taking a closer look into every host who either quit or was fired from The Five. Andrea Tantaros. Andrea Tantaros joined The Five as one of the original co-hosts when the show launched. Known for her sharp conservative commentary and direct approach to political issues, Tantaros quickly became one of the standout voices on the show. Before her time on The Five, she had already established herself as a strong presence on Fox News, having served as a political analyst and co-host of Outnumbered. Her rise within the network reflected her ability to engage viewers with her strong opinions and unfiltered style. Her time on The Five was marked by her often combative debates with her liberal counterparts, which fueled the show's dynamic nature. However, her tenure at Fox News was cut short in 2016 when she filed a lawsuit against the network, alleging sexual harassment.
But unlike Carlson, Tantaros claims the harassment was widespread, alleging Fox News operates like a sex-fueled Playboy Mansion-like cult, steeped in intimidation, indecency, and misogyny.
In her lawsuit, she described Fox News as a sex-fueled Playboy Mansion-like cult, an accusation that made headlines and contributed to the broader conversation about workplace harassment in the media industry. She claimed that she'd been taken off the air as retaliation for refusing the advances of higher-ups at the network, including then-CEO Roger Ailes. Since her departure, she has largely stepped out of the public eye. She has not returned to mainstream television, and her lawsuit against Fox News remains unresolved. She later remarked, quote, "This is about power and control, and I refuse to be silenced by the people who abused their positions."
As usual, we bring them over here, and we teach a bunch of Chinese people how to do computers. They go back to China and they hack into us, right?
Bob Beckle. Bob Beckle, a veteran Democratic strategist and political commentator, was another founding member of The Five. Beckle brought a left-leaning perspective to the panel, which provided a balance against the conservative voices on the show. His brash yet affable demeanor made him a favorite among viewers who appreciated his willingness to go head-to-head with his co-hosts while maintaining a sense of humor. Before joining The Five, Beckle had already made a name for himself in Washington, having served as campaign manager for Walter Mondale's 1984 presidential campaign and as a political consultant. Beckle's time on The Five was often lively, with frequent heated exchanges between him and his more conservative co-hosts. Despite their differences, Beckle's chemistry with the other panelists helped build the show's appeal. He wasn't afraid to speak his mind, which often led to memorable moments on the show. "I am a liberal, but I'm also a realist," he once said during a particularly charged debate. In 2015, his time on The Five was interrupted due to a back surgery that forced him to take a leave of absence. While he was recovering, Fox News parted ways, reportedly due to concerns over his health and struggles with substance abuse. In 2017, he briefly returned to The Five, but his second stint was cut short after he was fired following accusations of making racially insensitive remarks to a coworker. Beckle denied the allegations, and his departure was met with disappointment from fans who appreciated his candid style. Since leaving the show, he has continued to contribute political commentary in various outlets.
It's a bittersweet day here on The Five. It's our last day at 5 p.m., and the last day Eric will be with us as our co-host.
Eric Bolling. Eric Bolling's journey to The Five began with his expertise in finance, having worked as a commodities trader before transitioning to television. He first made a name for himself on Fox Business, hosting shows like Follow the Money and co-hosting the Fox News Specialists. His brash, unapologetic conservative stance made him a natural fit for The Five when the show launched. Bolling often represented the staunch conservative viewpoint, balancing the panel with his strong economic background and firm political beliefs. During his time on The Five, he was known for a no-nonsense approach and for fiercely defending conservative values. His exchanges with his more liberal co-hosts frequently made headlines, with Bolling often using his background in business and economics to argue for policies he believed would benefit the country. "I've always said America is the greatest country in the world because of free markets and opportunity," he once stated during a heated discussion on government regulation. But Bowling's tenure at Fox News came to an abrupt end in 2017 when he was suspended and later let go following allegations of sexual misconduct. According to reports, he was accused of sending inappropriate text messages to female colleagues, allegations he denied. "I will continue to fight against these false smear attacks," he said. His departure marked a significant shift in his career, as he had been a major figure on Fox News and a key part of the Five's lineup. Since leaving, Bowling has worked to rebuild his career. He became a host at the conservative network Newsmax, where he continues to offer political commentary. He also has become a vocal advocate for addressing the opioid epidemic after the tragic death of his son, Eric Chase Bowling, from an accidental overdose.
It's time now for one more thing, and I have an announcement. This is my last day hosting The Five. COVID taught me a lot of lessons. As the show goes back to the New York studio, I'll be staying in D.C. I'll be working for Fox out of Washington.
Juan Williams. Juan Williams, a respected journalist and political analyst, became a regular host on The Five in 2011, serving as the liberal voice on the predominantly conservative panel. Williams had a long and distinguished career in journalism before joining Fox News, having worked as a correspondent for NPR and The Washington Post. He was already a familiar face to Fox News viewers before his role on The Five, often appearing as a political analyst and contributing to various discussions on race and politics. On The Five, he often found himself in heated debates with his co-hosts, especially on topics related to race, immigration, and the Trump administration. Despite these clashes, Williams maintained a thoughtful and measured approach, often emphasizing the need for dialogue. "We need more conversations that cross the aisle," Williams remarked during a segment on political polarization. His presence as the show's most prominent liberal voice offered balance to the strong conservative viewpoints of other hosts like Eric Bowling and Greg Gutfeld. In 2021, Williams announced his departure from The Five, citing the COVID-19 pandemic as a key reason for his exit. He had been hosting remotely from his home during the pandemic and expressed a desire to continue working in a less demanding capacity. His departure sparked rumors of tension with his conservative co-hosts, particularly regarding the show's sometimes fiery exchanges. However, Williams downplayed any internal conflict and made it clear his decision was based on personal preferences. Since leaving, he's continued his work with Fox News as a senior political analyst. Heraldo Rivera. Heraldo Rivera, the seasoned journalist with a career spanning decades, joined The Five as a guest host and eventually became a more permanent fixture on the panel. Known for his bold style and willingness to dive into more controversial topics, Rivera brought a unique blend of experience and charisma to the show. He had already enjoyed a long and storied career, including his work on Goodnight America and his infamous live broadcast opening of Al Capone's vault in the 1980s. By the time he joined Fox News in 2001, he had firmly established himself as a household name in American journalism. His contributions to The Five often straddled the line between moderation and provocation. While he generally took a more centrist or liberal stance compared to his co-hosts, his views were never easily categorized, making him a wild card on the show. He frequently challenged conservative viewpoints, especially on topics like immigration and race relations, but he also supported more conservative stances on issues like law enforcement. In 2023, Rivera announced he would be leaving The Five, citing creative differences and a deteriorating relationship with his fellow panelists, particularly Greg Gutfeld. In an interview with the New York Times, he said, "I was basically fired from The Five," explaining his frequent disagreements with Gutfeld had made the working environment increasingly uncomfortable. Since leaving, he's remained a part of Fox News, reporting on breaking news and major political events. Now it's time to hear from you. Who's your favorite of these former hosts? Let us know in the comments section below.